Hey guys, welcome back. I am happy that you're here today for another weekend reset. There's a bunch to do indoors. I know I've been outside quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, but we're bringing things back inside. My house is a little bit messy, but over the last few days, we hosted a bridal shower here for a wedding that my niece is going to be in next month. So I wanted to kind of bring everything back to a starting point, get everything cleaned up and freshened up so that I can enjoy the weekend. I used to do Sunday resets, but I kind of switched to cleaning on Fridays and Saturday mornings so that I can really just enjoy my house being clean on Saturday afternoon and evening, and even all through Sunday. I love to be able to get outside and do fun gardening projects, and I love thrifting, you guys know. So I felt like when I was cleaning on Sunday, then I would just go off to work on Monday and not really get a chance to enjoy my home clean. So that is why we're doing this weekly reset now. That way, all day tomorrow, I can enjoy the Sunday, beautiful weather, and do whatever other things I want to do. So we've got a lot to do today. So let's turn this camera around. I'll give you a peek at where we're starting, and let's get this place cleaned up. There's a bunch to do. So thanks for being here, and let's get started. So here's a quick overview of how we're starting out today. The house is not actually dirty, but it is messy. I have a lot of things that still need to find their homes from just the last few days of being busy. Couple of days worth of breakfast cooking there with the cast iron, and obviously the dishes in the sink. That's a forever task, right, guys? But I do want to start off with getting some laundry done because my laundry has really piled up. I actually hurt my back a few weeks ago. I've been trying to power through it over the last month, actually, and it's been pretty bad to the point where I struggle to carry these baskets downstairs. I am getting better, and I do want to continue the healing, so I'm trying really hard to just not overdo it. And I had to wait for my husband to bring the baskets downstairs for me. So during the time that I kept forgetting to ask him to bring them down, they piled up, and now I have a ton of wash to do. Recently had mentioned about the OxyClean and that my lid to my washer locks when I close it and get things started, which is when it fills. But the OxyClean instructions say that you're supposed to dissolve it in the water before adding the clothes. So I'm only partially following the directions here. I'm dissolving it in water. I've already added the clothes, but I have this little mason jar next to my utility sink. And I just, fill it up with water, dissolve it, and pour it right on top of the clothes. Seems to be working just fine. I don't actually really know if it matters. I know some people just put the powder in directly. So that's how I am getting the day started with a load of laundry. That way it can be going while I'm going. I'm about to put these Polar sparkling waters away, and while I do, I just wanted to let you know that these are a game changer for me. A lot of you guys know that I am doing the low carb, I should say no carb, really, because I'm doing carnivore. But there's so many variations of low carb that you can do. These things are a game changer because when I am starting to feel like I need a treat, which is not very often anymore because I actually don't have cravings much. I would say maybe a couple of times a month I start feeling like I want to have something. These actually help because there's no sugar. They come in a lot of different flavors. And honestly, this is the Polar brand, but it's not specifically this particular brand that is good. There's a lot of them that are good out there. I always find the ones that have no sugar, but it really does help me feel like I'm having like a soda. The bubbles kind of make it feel a little bit more interesting than just still water. And they have been very helpful. And you just saw me dump a plate of cookies. That is a testament to how powerful this way of eating is. There is a time in the past where I would have eaten every single last one of those cookies on that tray, and it would have bothered me to toss them. And now that I am so fully entrenched in this zero carb lifestyle over the last few months that I've been doing it, it did not even cause me 1 second of doubt. I didn't consider it food, actually, as I was throwing it away. It wasn't even something that bothered me one bit. So I finally feel like I am free from the addiction. I am free from the cravings. I am free from food controlling every possible thought that goes through my mind. It was so liberating to me when I finally realized that I had broken that sugar addiction. So, I want to take a second and just introduce myself if you are new. My name is Jen, and on my channel, I typically like to do decorating, shopping, thrifting, and cleaning content. So, if you're new and you're enjoying today's video, I would love it if you would subscribe. And welcome back to a lot of you guys who have recently given me so many wonderful comments. In a recent video, I had mentioned that I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do with these Saturday videos. And a lot of you guys said you don't mind seeing me clean the same spaces. Somebody made a good point in the comment section, and they said that they are also cleaning the same spaces every week. So I hadn't considered that, but it is true. We all just kind of do the same thing on a weekly basis. And it's really, I think, the motivation that I look for when I go to a cleaning video. And a lot of you guys said that you really enjoy these. So thanks for the feedback. Thank you for the support and for the encouragement. And thanks for being here. So the sink does need a little bit of a scrub down. This is my favorite method for cleaning this stainless steel sink. And I actually use this method on my stovetop and also on my stainless cookware. It's basically just Blue Dawn dish soap and baking soda. It creates a paste, and it is such a great method for debriding the sink. Sometimes when you have sort of like stuck on gross things in the sink. I know it's kind of gross, but I mean, the sink does get gross, right? So it needs to be cleaned on a weekly basis. And I feel like this is a really easy and low cost method for keeping things clean here. And so I like creating this paste and letting it sit for a little bit and then rinsing it off. And it creates a really nice shine. It gets any little rust spots off. If you have stainless sink, you know that sometimes if you leave your silverware, especially low quality silverware, which, I thrift most of my stuff, so I never know what quality I'm getting until I get it home. But if you leave it wet for a while in one spot, it will create this little rust spot, and this really gets it off. So great method for cleaning a stainless steel sink if that is something that you are looking for. So now it's time to get these cast iron pans cleaned up. I love cooking on cast iron. I love the fact that the pans are not made of Teflon or whatever sort of coating might be on cookware that can, I don't really know the science behind it, but I have heard that when you heat up certain materials, they kind of leave toxins in the food. And so I love the idea of using cast iron because I feel like that's a healthier way to cook. And honestly, cast iron is so easy to deal with. I can remember years ago my grandma using cast iron as well. And one of the things that I learned from her is that you have to make sure that it is dry very well and very quickly. You don't want to leave them wet, obviously, because iron will rust. And leave them upside down on that towel. The way I have the other one is not really a good idea for a very long time because you will create a moisture barrier on the underside, and then you do get rust. So she used to place them away, kind of stacking them with paper towels in between, just as a protector from any moisture that might have been left behind. And as long as you keep them dry and clean, they are very, very easy to deal with, and I love it. So we're going to get the stovetop cleaned up. Also, I cook with a lot of bacon grease. That is part of the carnivore diet, is using natural fats rather than like cooking spray. Olive oil is a good one. I like to eat bacon on the weekends, and so I render the fat so that I can use it to cook with as a money-saving method. That way I don't have to buy cooking oils very often, but I'm not opposed to avocado oil or olive oil. I do not use any sort of seed oil. That would include like vegetable oils or things like that, just because I know they're not good for you. But besides that, cooking with the bacon grease does splatter and leave like, a greasy buildup. So that baking soda and soap technique helps to remove a lot of that grease as well. So here you see me moving all of these little pieces of decor and things out of the way so I can clean underneath. These pieces have been moved around my kitchen so many times. I cannot decide if I want to keep them out and use them. And if I do want to use them, I can't figure out where or how I want to set them up. Nothing seems to be working. A lot of you guys saw my spring kitchen decorating video, and I did like the way it looked, but I brought in a couple of different items and set them out, and it kind of changed the look. So I don't know. I just kind of keep moving them around. I don't know if you guys do that when you have an item you want to use, but you're not exactly sure what to do with it. Do you keep moving things around from place to place? I finally feel like it's time to just be done with them and put them away, but I haven't given up yet. Over the next couple of days, I played around with them after this video, but ultimately they went away. They are gone. One thing I will say about using the baking soda method is that as it dries, you'll continue to see a white buildup until you have gotten all of the baking soda off of the stovetop. So you'll see me go back a few times after it dries just to do one final wipe down. Sometimes I'll use the disinfecting wipes. Sometimes I'll just use a wet rag, a paper towel, just anything to get that film off, because with baking soda, that is very common. So if you're using that method for the first time, just know that you got to do a couple of extra wipes before it's time to look at that beautiful shine. I have not always done the cleaning method of the top to bottom approach in the past. I know about it. I've known about it for a long time, and it does make sense. Where you clean higher up areas first, wipe those down, because as you clean them, you kind of knock down dirt and debris onto the floor. And so it wouldn't make sense to mop and vacuum first. But I don't always do it that way. This time I did, and I'm really glad I did, because everything when I was done really looked great. It felt great. I didn't have to go back and clean up things that I had. You guys have heard me say that sometimes I make more work for myself because I'm a little disorganized when I start cleaning. This time around, I did it the right way, and boy, was it a time saver. So nice to have everything done and clean from top to bottom. We're moving over into the dining area. I want to get this table cleaned off, and I'm going to put the chairs up on top so that I can vacuum and mop. And I do need to dust the base of the chairs as well. The black chairs really are pretty, but they show a lot of dust. So once I get them put up here, we're going to do some vacuuming and some mopping all throughout the house. But one of the things I love about this table is how compact it is. Because of the fact that I don't have a lot of square footage downstairs, this little square table is perfect. I was on the hunt for one that was even smaller and maybe like a round one. I haven't found one yet. And this one I thrifted. I thrifted it a long time ago, and I actually can't remember how much I paid for it. I want to say it was like $12, but I know I had mentioned it in a previous video, so I know the information is out there somewhere, but I just can't remember. It's been so long, but you can't beat thrifting. But one thing I will say about my local thrift stores is that lately I have not been having a lot of luck in finding furniture. When I first started my channel, I was able to find furniture on a weekly basis, either to sort of make over, DIY, or repurpose and keep it. I even was selling it for a time, but now I am not finding furniture, and I think it's because of that huge antique store that recently opened up near me, which I love, and I'm not complaining, but I feel like maybe the vendors there are hitting up those thrift stores and beating me to the deals. So that's kind of a bummer. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I think is happening. So, you guys, recently I have been doing a ton of filming. I have so many videos in the lineup for editing that I haven't gotten to yet. But one of the things that I wanted to let you guys know is that there is a ton of stuff coming for summer content and summer inspiration. I've been doing a lot of thrifting, a lot of kind of planning. And I even recently got to hang out with my friend Angie from the Bumblebee Farmhouse. And we got together. You know, she does not live in Florida, so she came down on spring break. And we got together in, I think it's Polk County, Florida, at a place called the Mercantile. Some of you guys may have seen her video already. I am just so backlogged on videos and editing that I have not gotten mine out yet. So big shout out to Angie at the Bumblebee Farmhouse. If you guys don't follow her, check out her channel. It is fun. It is great. She's a sweetheart. And she has very similar content to mine, decorating, thrifting, antiquing, that sort of thing. And I would love it if you would go over and say hi to her and let her know that Jen sent you, because she is awesome. She is such a sweet lady and I love her. You guys know that I really do enjoy chatting with you in the comments, so I would love to know what you've been up to lately. Has spring come your way? I know I ask every week, but so many of you guys have commented recently that you're still having really cold temperatures. And so I am just hopeful for those of you that are dreaming of warm weather and spring that you get some of that warm weather coming your way soon. But what have you been up to? Have you been doing any projects? Do you have any upcoming events or exciting news that is in your family coming your way in the future? A lot of you guys know I have recently talked about my little grandson that is due in August. I cannot wait. We are halfway to his birthday, so cannot wait to meet him and see him and get to spend time with him. But, you know, I'd love to hear about you guys. Leave me a comment. Let me know, what's your life look like? What do you do on a daily basis, or what do you enjoy doing? I've had this couch for a few years now, and it has seen better days, but I tell you what, fluffing up these cushions on the back and kind of flipping them over so that they can set on the other side of the couch, like kind of swapping them, is a really big help, especially with, the way they kind of get formed in position and they get misshapen. And this couch actually is a thrift find as well. I only paid $50 for it probably about 4 years ago. I really like it, and I love that it's got like the rolled arms and that traditional look, because I do kind of like a traditional looking home decor setup. I like a little bit of cottage, a little bit of traditional. Sometimes people might call that grandma chic or grand millennial. I don't know what it's called, but I just like for things to look quaint and cute. And that couch that you see is just one of my favorite thrifted finds, and I will not be replacing it until I find one that I love equally as much. Now, you guys know I love my stick vacs. I use them all the time. I have one upstairs and one here downstairs, but I am on the lookout for a heavy duty vacuum now, mainly because this is going to sound crazy, so you guys just hear me out. I have been using this stick vac to vacuum the concrete floor of my outdoor screen room. I hate sweeping. It just kicks up so much dust and makes a mess, like on the aluminum bars. I'm going to bring you guys out there. I've got an upcoming video for, actually, it might have already posted on the day of this video, just to kind of show you the progress and where we began with our screen room. But I hate sweeping out there because there's so much sand and dust all the time that sweeping just makes a giant mess. And the vacuum really does get the floor clean and not create more of that dust buildup. So I've been using this outside, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's not picking up as well here in the house now that I've been doing that. So I am on the hunt for a new vacuum. If you guys have any recommendations that you use that you love, I don't typically like rechargeable vacuums just because I am a chronic over vacuumer, so I will vacuum the same space over and over again. So the battery tends to run out on me. So I do like a corded vacuum, but leave me a comment and let me know if you have any recommendations for ones that you love. I have yet to tackle this laundry room makeover. I did a little cleanup and organizing, but since the bridal shower, you can see all of the yellow decor and the extras, things that we didn't use, kind of found its way into the laundry room. So I've got to get in here again and do another straightening. Eventually, I want to completely redo this entire space. I need more storage in my house because I don't have any real storage spaces. I don't have linen closets really. I've got like dressers and like furniture pieces that I use to store towels and sheets and things like that, but nothing that's like built into my house. So I really want to add in a lot of like cabinetry and just not maybe not custom, but like that it looks custom. I watch a channel called Carrie Lynn, and she did this in her kitchen. She created like a entire wall pantry with upper cabinets, like kitchen cabinets, and it looked really good. And I'm thinking I want to try something like that in here because you guys, I need more storage space like you would not believe. Lately, I've really been enjoying this Gain Happy scent for the laundry soap and the fabric softener. I don't typically have a go-to soap, like something that I use faithfully all the time, but I think this is becoming that. In the last couple of times that I have purchased my laundry soap, it's been that, and I'm really enjoying the scent. So, do you guys have a scent or a laundry soap type that you use all the time? My grandma used to love Tide. I don't like it. I don't use Tide. I never really have used Tide. I don't understand the hype. I know it's kind of expensive and it's not something that I ever really wanted to spend the additional money on because I never really felt like it did anything different than any other sort of laundry soap. My aunt uses All, and she swears by that. And I really, so far, have not landed on one that is my go-to until now. I've really enjoyed that Gain Happy scent. I love having a two-story house. It's something that when I was growing up, I always wished that I would find myself living in. And so I am loving it. But one of the things I hate is getting the laundry upstairs. So you'll see me just hang that laundry there on the banister railing and I kind of leave it there. It's behind the wall and it can't be seen. So it's definitely a way to get that laundry halfway put away without having to see it in the rest of the house. So, fun fact, if you are ever uncertain about where I put my laundry and my clutter, sometimes it's hiding behind that stairway wall. If you've been around for a while, then you know that I have said in the past that I do not vacuum and mop nearly enough. It is a task that I absolutely hate. I hate thinking about doing it. I hate doing it. Even watching this video back, I hate watching me do it. I let it go way too long, which is really bad because our dog Molly, a lot of you guys have seen her in previous videos. She hangs out in the yard all the time, all day long. We have a fenced yard, so she loves to lounge out there and she rolls around in the sand and then she brings in so much sand all the time. It is such a nightmare. But one thing I will say is after it's done, there is nothing like a freshly mopped floor. And so, getting it done is not fun, but having it done is fantastic. So today is the day before Easter, and I'm just curious if you guys have any Easter plans. What do you typically do for Easter with your family? This year, we plan to do a large get together here at my house. I'm excited to be able to use this green room. It'll be really the first kind of use for outdoor parties here at my house, and I'm looking forward to many more of those now that we have a covered screened in area. But I would love to know, how do you guys spend your Easter? We will typically have like a traditional dinner, like ham, mashed potatoes, vegetables, that sort of thing. It's not probably going to be a barbecue style party, but that will be coming soon. Memorial Day is right around the corner, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. But I would love to hear if you have Easter plans. And, Easter is a holiday that is very important to me. I would say that Easter and Christmas are both the two most important holidays. I don't know, because the 4th of July is super important to me also, but for different reasons. But you guys know that I am a Christian. I am a very strong believer. I feel like in my life there have been too many times where I really needed God and he showed up for me. Now, that doesn't mean that he is, like a vending machine that you just put your order in and you get what you want. There have been very many times that I didn't get what I want out of life. But looking back over those sort of disappointments, I found that God had a plan and he led me to something better. And so I cannot deny that I get a lot of peace, a lot of comfort, and a lot of hope from my faith. And so that is why Easter to me, and the resurrection and the salvation, is something that I don't deserve. And as Christians, we know we're imperfect, and we know that we fail often. But I, for one, will tell you that I am so grateful for the love and the hope and the comfort and peace that I get from my Christian faith. So I have no problem sharing that with you guys. And, if you're not someone who is a believer, that's totally fine. I'm not a judgy person. I don't really necessarily need everybody to do what I do. However, that is why Easter is so important to me, because without that hope and that faith and that love is, I feel like life kind of falls flat. There is nothing quite like a freshly cleaned house. I am ready to enjoy the weekend. I hope you are too. I hope you have a beautiful one. I hope it's a wonderful Easter. I hope you get to spend time with your family and relax and just reflect on all of the blessings that we have, because there are so, so many. Thank you guys so much for being with me today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.